What is up, everybody? My name is Wes. This is Top Shelfers, and today we're going to talk about the 32 games that I've beat so far this year and how they currently rank now. So, I did a video when we beat our first 20 games, and I'm going to do this throughout the year periodically when I beat like another 10, 15, 20 games. And one of the things that I really want to talk about is how new games get added to the list, obviously, and where they rank up against the other ones I beat, but also how some of the games may have changed positioning just based off of how they've resonated with me as time has gone on since I've completed them. Some games I feel like have actually improved in my head now that there's other games I've played in similar categories. Some games have gotten worse. So, without further ado, this is how I rank games. I have reviews for a lot of the games that I've beat. I rank it on 10, sometimes 11 different categories: graphics and visuals, gameplay, story, audio, replayability, difficulty, world design, performance, and technical stability, community and multiplayer if it's applicable, innovation and originality, and then hours versus dollars. And then they get a score, an average score out of 10. So each of these categories, I rank them out of 10 and then get the overall score. So the worst game I've played this year, still, I changed it around a little bit. I think it's going to be Daemonology. Visually, the game was super cool looking, really creepy and like off-putting, but there just wasn't really a game. And I still feel like there was stuff missing from this one, and I just don't understand why. I get that maybe that was the point of the game, was you don't really know if you've succeeded or failed, so you just kind of have to live with your decision. It just really felt not great. And then Mannequin, this was another game. Now, obviously, these scores, Mannequin's lower out of score, but just because a game ranks a little bit higher, it may have had, like this game had really good graphics, so it got a little bit higher score, but overall, still not a great game. Mannequin was a super short horror game where you just walk through the store and these mannequins try and nab you up. It's free, so if you want like a 30-minute little scare, you can't go wrong with a free game, but it wasn't great. Don't Look Back, I don't know. It felt like a child's school project, which maybe it was, and if so, hey, you know what? You're on Steam, you're doing great, keep on going. But not really great. Fear the Unknown, Dave's story moved up a little bit. I just thought it was, the more I've thought about it, the more silly it is, and the more it kind of makes me giggle. And it's aliens, UFOs, so I always have a soft spot for that. Alone in the Dark is new to the list. This game has a interesting mix of reviews. This is a big budget game. It cost me $40. I personally thought it was horrible. I thought the story was really dumb. I didn't enjoy it. Graphics were okay, but there was so much to be desired, and really it's just a super shitty version of Resident Evil, and I think that was their point, right? Like they wanted to maybe pay homage to Resident Evil, or I don't know. It took everything that Resident Evil does and made it worse, and then added horrible performance like technically, and the story was just I saw someone talk about this game and I thought they nailed it perfectly. There is a good game hiding in this bullshit, and I really felt like it was a situation where they had a game and maybe it was only like 3 or 4 hours, and they knew people would be mad if they bought a $40 game that only got like maybe 8 hours total out of it. So they just jam-packed full of all this other pointless bullshit. The puzzles were like a third grade level. It was ridiculous. Was not a fan. Next is A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. I think I was pretty harsh on this game the first time around, because as it's resonated with me, I can see this creeping up more and more. There's definitely good elements here. It was a stealth one, and when I played it, I really didn't have fun with it, but maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset for the game. Maybe had different expectations for it. 26, Those Who Remain. This is another one that just it was so close to being something good, and it just fell short in so many ways. It just the story was really not there for me. All of the little areas that we were going in just felt dead and boring. And that was another thing that I wanted to talk about this game. Absolutely empty, very uninspiring. There was not a whole lot going on, but there was cool areas. Same thing with Those Who Remain, just very empty, just I don't know. It didn't feel like I was there was anything going on. I just felt like I was walking around just kind of doing random tasks. Emissary Zero. This was a multiplayer game that I played with a couple friends. It's not anything to write home about, but it's actually quite a bit of fun. I always have a soft spot for when I get to play games with the homies because we're gonna share laughs and fuck around for a few hours, and that's exactly what we did, and it was a good time. So if you're looking for some games to play with the friends, spend a night or two on it. I think we beat it in one sitting, maybe two sittings. I can't remember. Um, it's well worth the money. 24 is Teleform. So Teleform was a point and click horror game that was very eerie, and I still don't think I did everything in this game. I was blown away with how fun a point and click, like text adventure almost, if you want to call it that, could be. It kind of opened my eyes up to a different horror genre. 23, Tales Beyond the Tomb. This is a Fears to Fathom style game. If you love that genre, you'll love this. If you're not a fan, you won't like it. Old Market Simulator is exactly what what it sounds like. It's a simulator game, and it's all old market things, and you buy and sell shit. And I like simulator games in some aspects, and this game was super fun. But like a lot of simulator games, it just felt like it started getting really repetitive. Massacre at the Mirage. This game has jumped up a bit on my list. It's not necessarily a game where you go in hoping for in-depth horror mechanics or anything like that. It's very much just an on rails story that you're playing through and walking in, but it has a lot of crazy scenes in it, and just kind of it almost felt like I was just watching or I was playing like an interactive movie. And the more that it sat with me, the more I've actually enjoyed it. Peglin. Peglin is if Peggle and Slay the Spire had a baby with cute graphics. It's a roguelike type game with a lot of different things. If you've played Slay the Spire, it's the same type of concept. Just added a Peggle aspect. I have like 70 hours in this game now, and I love it. Bramble the Mountain King is a game that I played a long time ago. It's still pretty strong. I kind of want to revisit it, but I don't know if I ever will. It's a very much like a Little Nightmares type of game. If that is a genre that you love and you haven't jumped into this one, you will not regret this playthrough. Gears of War Ultimate Edition. I mean, this is the first Gears of War. I was a Gears of War fan as a kid. I'm still a Gears of War fan now. It's still super fun. Mechanically, it was a little choppy on the computer, but still a good time. Such unique and interesting characters. Shout out Coltrane, baby. Fable Anniversary. I played Fable as a kid, but never beat it. We went back and beat it, and yeah, it still kind of holds up. It's a little slow and not the most exciting game that I've played, but it's still a good time. And if you remembered Fable from when you were a kid and you want to revisit it, it wasn't a bad playthrough again. The Cabin Factory. This is a game that I really, really hope that they do more with, because it was just so eerie and weird and different. It's definitely a horror game. I hope the picture kind of gives that away. I don't have anything bad to say about Cabin Factory except that it's short, and I don't know if there's going to be more content, but they really should dive into it again. Is this game trying to kill me? A gym in the mess of what Steam games are. This game is so fun, so unique, so different. You're in a game, playing a game in a game that affects the world outside the game you're playing and inside the game you're playing. It's puzzles, it's horror, it's a creepy character. It's really, really fun. Balatro. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's talked about Balatro now. It's a card game, but it is so much more than just a card game. I love it. I think I've had 50, 60, 70 some odd hours now in it. Um, the PR team for this is one of the best on the planet, easily. It's so fun. I recommend Bloucho to anyone who likes any type of casual card games. Fears to Fathom. I talked about this a little bit earlier with the Tales Beyond the Tomb. Obviously, Fears to Fathom has made a big impact in the horror community, the horror gaming community. I played through all the stories. I loved it. I'm a Fears to Fathom fan, and I hope that either they put out more content or I can find other ones that are as high as quality as this. Bendy and the Ink Machine. Surprisingly, really enjoyed this one. Love the art style. Love the gameplay. Uh, I have the. I haven't played Bendy in the Dark Revival yet, or whatever is to follow it. It's on my list. It's on the wheel. If you don't know what that is, I stream all of these games live, and I every time we beat a game, we do a wheel spin and vote on what's next. And eventually, I'm sure we'll get to Bendy in the Revival. But if you want something different, kind of a first person, the controls kind of reminded me a little bit of maybe like an early BioShock. It's first person, but the story that they're telling and the characters are very unique and different in this one. And just barely out of the top 10 is Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1. We played the remaster. I mean, it's a PlayStation 1 remastered, and they killed it with the remaster. It's a lot of fun. It's my wife's one of her favorite games of all time, and I was not disappointed going through this one. Top 10. Halo Combat Evolved. Yes, we revisited the first Halo in the HD graphics from the Master Chief Collection, and lo and behold, I still love Halo. I played it on Legendary. I finally achieved a childhood gaming goal of I soloed Legendary. It was a challenge, but a lot of fun, and I'm excited to jump into more Halo. Number 9 is going to be Alien Isolation. It's weird. This game has resonated with me really well, but has seemed to drop on the list just because we've had a lot of other great games we've played. I'm excited to do the DLC, and apparently there is another game announced, so we will definitely be getting to that in the future. Mass Effect 1. We played the Legendary Edition. It doesn't matter if it's 2025, 2007, or 2045. Mass Effect is worth the time. It is a phenomenal game. If you've ever played Star Wars Knights of the Republic, it's the same team that did that. It's the same type of layout. The combat isn't the greatest in the world, at least with this first one, but the story's phenomenal, and the characters are great and unique. The worlds are beautiful, and you can tell that the creators of this game were passionate about creating video games. Number 7 is the Red Dead Redemption 1 remaster. I am a rootin' tootin' Red Dead fan to my death. And it was great to replay this one. I was worried that it was going to let me down, however many years it's been since I played it originally when it came out. It did not. It lived up to it and beyond. And eventually we'll get to Undead Nightmare. I have beat Red Dead Redemption 2 on my own time, but we'll stream that one too, and by God, I hope they do a third one. Number 6, Ghostwire Tokyo, one game that I cannot recommend enough to everybody. It is so unique and cool, such a visual masterpiece of a game with a really cool story and interesting characters. It's an open world game. You get to go look at a whole bunch of stuff, and I really can't say anything bad about this game. Number 5 is the Silent Hill 2 remake, a game that has creeped up on my list as time has gone on. I love these types of games. When I beat it originally, obviously I played Silent Hill 2 when I was young, but I don't think I ever beat it. So going back through the remake, in the moment I was playing on the hardest difficulty, and there were some parts that just really pissed me off and not in a fun way. But as time has gone on, the more I've thought about it, the more I've reminisced about it. I really, really do enjoy the game, and it is amazing. Number 4 is a more recent beat. I dived into Secret of Mana, which was, I think, an SNES, and then it was remastered. We did play the remastered, which a lot of people came in on the stream and said that, the original is so much better. I still loved this game through and through. The combat's a little wonky. I played it on the PC. I would recommend not using a mouse and keyboard, which I did. Use a controller, but it's still a phenomenal game. Number 3 coming in is Detroit Become Human. I'm sure you guys have heard about this game as time has gone on. It is still a wonderful experience and a super fun game to play. Number 2 is Control. I talked about this on the last ranking. This was one of the most exciting, unique, conspiracy-driven games I've ever played in my life, and I think this should be on everybody's short list of playing if you have not dove into it yet. It's fun mechanically, the story's insane, and it makes you question a lot of things. And then number 1, which I'm sure people wouldn't be surprised, it's going to be Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I was worried going into this because I just recently beat this. Time of recording, maybe I beat it last week, so the first week of June. I was worried going into this because I got hyped up about it quite a bit, and I was going in expecting a lot and thinking, well, it's not going to live up to the hype. Well, not only did it live up to the hype, it exceeded it. I understand that turn-based games aren't for everyone. This one stayed fresh through the whole thing, and what a good story it told. The only reason why there's things that made this not a 10 out of 10. I forgot to put the score on here. I think I gave it a 9.3 out of 10. There's a few little things, but when we're talking about masterful gaming experiences and a game as a whole, this definitely needs to be on the top of a lot of lists. It was phenomenal, and I very rarely like to go revisit story games when I know what's going on. I do plan on going back and new game plussing this because there is a lot of stuff that I didn't do, a lot of side bosses, a lot of side quests, a whole lot of other character development, and multiple endings and everything. It really does live up to the hype, and I can't tell you enough to take the time. It's free on Xbox Games Pass. You can pay $20 for a month of Game Pass, and you can knock that game out along with some other ones if you want. Or I think it's $40 or $50. So, but those are the 32 games that we've beaten so far. We are currently going through Hogwarts Legacy next. So whenever we beat that in another, 10, 12 games, I will revisit this list, see if anything has shifted based off of, time passing, and we'll make another list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you've played any of these games and what you think about them, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.